Well, hello everybody and welcome down to my allotment. Now in this video I'm going to take you on a bit of a tour. Been things happening here on the allotment. The biggest thing that has happened is of course the theft, which you may have seen on one of my little videos. When I say thefts on site, I was the only victim. One of the things that's gone missing is something I had right by this shed. You'll see now it's just a paving slab there. But I recorded a video last week that didn't go out, and I managed to capture something that was there. It was my plant feed maker. I'd fill this up with comfrey leaves and water and be able to make my plant feed. That has been stolen. If I find it, I mean, you can't prove that it's mine or not. It's one of those things, but lesson has been learned. More on that in the future. I don't want this all to be negative, of course, but if we head on down through the allotment, there's a lot of things that I want to talk about. Well, I think I'll start at the bottom end of our allotment today. Now, these three beds along here have got my potatoes growing in. They're growing fantastic, I've got to say. We've even got flowers showing up on the first early, so it's going to soon be time that we start harvesting those. I might have a rummage around very soon and just see if we've got any first early potatoes. It'd be great if we have. This one's we've got our broccoli and our celeriac, which are finally establishing and growing quite well. Our second early potatoes, not much I can say about those, same as the first earlies, doing fine. In here we've got cabbages. In fact, both of these beds, our cabbages are growing. These are summer/autumn cabbages. Now, one thing you will notice, I don't use nets on these. I don't like nets. But what I've been doing is spraying all my cabbages and all my brassicas with a Grazer's G1, which is a deterrent. Basically, if pigeons come along and eat it, they don't like the or something about it, the taste, I assume. It's calcium based, so it is organic. And they tend to leave it alone. Now, it is working. We have had a bit of our cabbages and things being munched on, but they have now started to leave them alone. So it's definitely working, and it's definitely looking better. Now, if we head over to this bed, you will see that our parsnips have germinated and grown quite well. We have got to thin them out pretty soon. That's something that we do need to do, but I'm happy with what we've got. What we're going to do when it comes to it is, as we thin them out, we're going to put them into some empty spaces just to try and spread them out, and hopefully they will take. Probably need to do that a bit soon before it gets too warm. Now, the greenhouses, this one not growing tomatoes in, they're doing okay, and Grandad's greenhouse, the fully glazed one, cucumbers in there at the moment are grown fantastic. That one is actually being much more successful than this one, I would say. The dragon's egg cucumbers themselves are looking awesome. I just can't wait to actually get some out of there. So yeah, you know, everything on this half is okay. I'm pretty happy with things. Things could be better, but things could also be worse. Let's head on up over to the top half now. Well, heading onto the top half of the plot, my corrugated iron raised beds are still here, and all three of them, and they're absolutely fine. The broad beans, we've been harvesting a lot of broad beans lately, and they're doing great. Really happy with these, I've got to say. They could be better, of course, but I'm happy with what we've got. Now, the bed with the big rods in it, that has been planted up with some runner beans and French beans there. They're a bit small at the moment, but they're getting there, and we've got more to go in. And the same with the hugelkultur bed. Again, I've got some French beans in that. They're a bit young at the moment, but they are getting there. But as we... this is where I get very annoyed. So I've got 5 beds that should have wooden raised beds around them. 4 of these beds have been stolen, and you can clearly see where the beds are meant to be, and you can even see the lines in the ground where the wood was. I have managed to get the wood back. I found out where they were, and I've just got to rebuild them, but I'm making them a bit more secure, shall we say. But these 4 beds, yeah, they've been stolen. It is annoying because in this bed I had some onions which were young, but they've been damaged so much. I don't know if they're going to recover. We will just have to see. And like the 2 beds over there, they were due to be planted up with sweet corn and tomatoes this weekend, and it kind of changed things just discovering that my stuff had been stolen. Really annoying. The 3rd bed we had our garlic in, the 4th bed, sorry, hard garlic in, and that's growing okay. We've just harvested our very early white garlic and it wasn't brilliant, I'll be honest, and I don't think the rest of the garlic is either going to be brilliant. Just because I didn't get them down deep enough, which I knew at the time. Clay soil, wet winter, it was actually the right thing to do, but we didn't get them down deep enough, and the wet winter and early rust as well has really caused problems. But you know, I could be wrong. We'll see what we get. Now the fifth bed, it's still there, but they clearly have tried taking it apart because the wood is broken. I can live with it for the time being, but I am annoyed about it. It's got onions, overwintered onions, which we're just waiting for them to start to flop over. A few have started flopping over, but they'll soon be out. And then we'll throw down loads of compost and get some squash, butternut squash or something in there for the time being. Well, all this leaves now is the very top part of my allotment, which you may recall me saying a few weeks ago. I was trying to tidy up the area, trying to get it a bit weed free, but the trouble is my neighbours still haven't visited their plot, and the grass and nettles is up nearly as tall as me, believe it or not. I'm 6 foot and it's nearly touching the top of my head, so I've got to start stripping theirs down when I'm here to try and reduce it coming onto mine. Trouble is I'm battery powered, don't always have enough batteries on it. That being said, we have got some gooseberries that are nearly ripe and currants and blueberries that are producing, so it's not a complete loss, it's just a little bit on the annoying side. Well, I'm going to call this one a day, and for me, I think it's so important to keep a record of what's going on in your allotment, so that if something ever does get stolen, you can prove that it was yours in some ways. So if you're not making videos, at least take photos of your items. Something as simple as raised beds can get stolen and it's annoying. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you again next time.